All right, hello and welcome everyone. As usual, God bless America. Today we're going to be doing a video from Forbes Breaking News on the new Title IX that Biden just enacted, and basically saying letting boys compete in girls' sports and vice versa. Finally, someone's going to be held accountable. So let's get right into it.
And I'm proud to say that with our partners in the legislature, we continue to advance our promises to the people of Arkansas. Chief among them is slowing the growth of government. This year's budget grows spending by only 1.76%. That's far below the 3% we've averaged in years past, and only half the current rate of inflation, showing a real cost of savings for the people of Arkansas. At the same time, we're still making critical investments in public safety and education, all of which I called for in my State of the State address just a few weeks ago. We'll put more state troopers on our roads, making sure we provide them with the resources and training they need to keep our community safe and secure, grant education freedom to more families than ever in Arkansas history, and pay for the highest starting teacher salaries anywhere in the nation. And we're paving the way to cut taxes in the future and eventually and responsibly phase out our state income tax to let Arkansans keep more of their hard-earned money. We also continue to shut down Chinese Communist Party influence in our state and reestablish local control over crypto mining facilities and crack down on bad actors. I want to once again thank our legislators who made these victories possible. But as proud as I am to celebrate these important wins, like most Arkansans are, frankly, I'm appalled at what is coming out of Washington. I've said before that the dividing line in this country is no longer between right and left. It's between normal and crazy. And the most recent attack on common sense came from President Biden's Department of Education and their total rewrite of Title IX. When Title IX was first written, it was 37 words long. The message was simple. Men and women deserve equal access to higher education. In the 52 years since, there have been several beneficial additions, guaranteeing equal access to college athletics, establishing due process for harassment cases, and so on. However, last month, President Biden released a reinterpretation of Title IX that comes in at an insane 459,000 words. Let that sink in. It's a document that should scare every woman and, frankly, every man in America. Title IX was created to protect women. But Biden's Title IX attempts to erase women completely. According to the rule, sex is no longer based on the commonly understood biological differences between men and women. It's based on how a person feels or their gender identity. To put it another way, Biden thinks anybody can be a woman just because they say so. As a woman, the mother of a daughter, and our state's first chief executive to give birth, thankfully not while in office, I can't think of anything more offensive or dismissive of the very real, very scientific traits that all women share and that no man does. I find myself asking, where are all the so-called feminists? Women fought for so long to have equal access to sports and higher education. Are we really going to throw that all away in the name of political correctness? Walk down any street in Arkansas, from Little Rock to Mountain Home, and ask someone the difference between a man and a woman. You will probably get a pretty straightforward answer. But apparently, our leaders in Washington can't tell the difference anymore. It would be laughable if it weren't so threatening. That's because the rule doesn't change just language on a paper. It could have a very real impact on Arkansas colleges and universities. If Biden gets his way, female college students will shower and change next to male college students. Referring to someone using biologically correct pronouns will get you hauled in front of a disciplinary board for harassment. And scholarships, previously reserved for women, will now be open to anyone claiming to be a woman.
So there goes your women's rights. Now the boys are going to get girl scholarships. Can't believe what our country's coming to.
My message to Joe Biden and the federal government is that we will not comply. Thanks to the hard work of our legislators, Arkansas already has several common sense laws on the books that directly contradict President Biden's new Title IX rule. Those include Act 317, ensuring sex-segregated bathrooms and sleeping quarters, the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, which keeps men out of women's sports, and the Given Name Act, which protects educators' right to free speech when addressing a student. That's the law in Arkansas, and we will enforce it. In a moment, I'll sign an executive order, reiterating our laws and instructing our educational institutions and the Arkansas Department of Education to follow them. And if President Biden threatens our state with loss of educational funding because we refuse to go along with his election year pandering, Arkansas will take the federal government to court. That's because this issue goes far beyond a single locker room or a missed scholarship. The truth is important. Biology is important. The differences between men and women are important. Title IX was created because of those fundamental truths, and for half a century has allowed women and girls to access colleges, sports, and scholarships that were previously unavailable. We won't let Biden threaten that, and we certainly will not let him erase our existence as women. Across the country, young women and girls are showing all of us how to be brave. They are leading this fight, and I'm happy to join them in standing up against the left's war on women. In West Virginia, 5 middle school girls were just banned from school sports when they refused to compete against a boy. Here in Arkansas, track athletes,
As they should. If none of these girls will play with the boys, then they have to fix the problem. Like, it's not okay that boys are in women's sports. That's why they have men and women's sports. If anything, they should start their own transgender league where the boys that think they're girls and the girls that think they're boys play together. Male, female, and trans, if that's what they want to do. It's ridiculous.
Ainsley Erzen joined a lawsuit against the NCAA to uphold fairness in women's sports. It is absurd that in America, we have adults like President Biden who are more afraid of their radical base than these young women. With us today, we have Riley Gaines, a 12-time All-American swimmer with 5 SEC titles and one of the bravest voices speaking out on this issue. If the weak men running the White House had half the courage of Riley, our country would be in a much better place.